Good morning. Welcome back to Bomb City's Kitchen. So we are going to be making peach cobbler from peaches, like fresh peaches, fresh Colorado peaches. I can't even get them apart. Good gravy. Yeah. Well, they need to be peeled, so might help to turn the knife the right way. It's insane. I've never had peaches that I couldn't just take the seed out like that. That's insane. I don't know how you're supposed to. Yeah. Hopefully they're not. This knife is a little wonky, so let's just peel these. I don't know how this is gonna go because I haven't worked with fresh peaches in a long time, and these are like super ripe, and I bought a huge box, so we may have to figure out what to do with them because they are a little bit riper than what I would want. Because like I said, I've never seen any that you couldn't get the pit out. That's just crazy. That just means you're gonna have to use more peaches because these are just way too ripe in my opinion. And that's gonna make me mad because I spent way too much money on these peaches. But it's cobbler, so they don't have to be perfect. Yeah, see, all it's doing is pulling the skin off. Yeah, this is not the way I was hoping this was gonna go. Obviously. I mean, this one's even a little riper and I still can't get it. So, I mean, that's a huge waste. Alright, let me see what I can do here. And we'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're gonna try something else. So, we're gonna cut these the opposite. They're much they're still a pain. But we got to get these. I mean, there's so much waste that is ridiculous. But they're just way too ripe in my opinion. But I need them peeled, sliced, all that stuff so that we can, because you got to put them in the fridge for a few hours to be able, because every recipe calls for freaking canned peaches, and then the ones that call for fresh, you have to put sugar with them and put them in the fridge for 2 to 3 hours. So that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully this will be good when it's all said and done. So we'll see you back after all the peaches are done. Okay, here we have our peaches. Now you add a cup of sugar to them and put them in the fridge. So it says half a cup, but this is a double recipe, so that's why I put a cup of sugar in here. And then we'll just kind of toss them around. Yeah, I will never buy peaches from that place again, because that's ridiculous. So now let them sit for a couple hours, and then we'll be back with the next part. All right, guys, so we're back. So we have 1/4 of a cup of melted butter, and it calls for a cup of melted butter, but divided. So you're gonna take 2 cups of self-rising flour. Hopefully, yeah. So this actually, I never had self-rising flour. However, we had a Walmart Spark shop one time that once I shopped it and got all the stuff, paid, did everything you're supposed to do. So 2 cups of flour, self-rising. Then you're gonna take 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So here's our sugar, and then the melted butter that's in the bottom. And it also says that you can add some little dash of cinnamon if you want. So then you're just gonna mix, I know, till it's like a crumbly stuff. Because it makes it like a kind of like a coarse mixture. I'm gonna try to mix it up as much as we can and get that flour kind of incorporated into that butter that we melted. These are kind of a little more bubbly. Get this out of my way because the thing just keeps spinning. But I'm probably going to end up kind of going ahead and fixing all those peaches and figure out something to do with them because they won't last long the way they are. And then someone on one of the Facebook pages here, like one of the gardening pages or something, had asked about where to get peaches. I said, do not go to the place that I went. And I called them out on it. So I just think it's crappy that they are selling those for $50 for 20 pounds. And they're terrible. Okay, so then you are supposed to sprinkle, it says on the bottom of a 9x9, but I'm using this. And I'm going to spray it on. It doesn't say anything about spraying it with anything, but honestly, I don't want it to stick. So we're putting it in this, like whatever, 9x13 or whatever pan. So it says to put about 1/3 of this mixture in there. And how do I know? I'm going to say maybe a cup of it. And we're going to sprinkle it in the bottom of this pan. Something like that, yes. It says it'll slightly mix with the peaches, so, you know, and it'll thicken up and whatnot. Then we are going to add all of our peach mixture. Which is right here. So basically we just made a syrup, you know, with all the sugar and the juice that it pulls out from the peaches. So now we're going to pour them in this pan. Kind of spread out the peaches so there's peaches all over. And there's that. Then you sprinkle with the rest of this, but you save out. Now really, this thing says to save out 2 tablespoons. Well, we're gonna save out that much. So probably about 1/2 cup maybe. And then we sprinkle the rest of this on top. there's all of that. Then I'm going to use this bowl because then you're supposed to take 2 tablespoons of sugar. That's about. And let's see. The remaining. Let me see. Which is weird because it says 1 cup of butter. So I was probably supposed to put a cup of butter in all that flour mixture. So we're just gonna melt a lot of butter. Because I thought that was awful dry. But I did the directions for a double recipe, but it doesn't change the directions. I think that's the issue. So we're just going to take all the butter and stick it in the microwave and melt it. And then pour it on top. Hopefully that will be okay. Should be enough liquid for the bottom part with all the juice from the peaches. So then I'm looking here and it says you can double and put it in a 9 by 13. And the stupid thing is that when you increase the number of servings, it should change the directions. Because it didn't, and so that's got our flour mixture a little bit too dry. I think it will be perfectly fine. So at some point, let's see, butter and the sugar. We need that butter to finish melting. I just don't want to put it in there anymore. So I've got the sugar in there too. But we have a lot of things to do today. Because at some point I've got to do the turkey broth from last week. I got to finish that. So okay guys, here we go. But hopefully this will work out, because needless to say, it's for a customer. So, and then let's see how long it tells you to cook. 40 to 45 minutes. So we're gonna put it in for 40 minutes and we'll check it from there. And we'll be back in a little bit. All right guys, here it is. I don't know if I should cook it longer or not. I think I'm going to cook it longer because I think I want it browner than that. So I'm going to cook it another 10 minutes. So we'll see you back in a moment. Alright guys, we're going to take it as it is. It looks pretty good. There we go. Whew. So let's walk over here. And there is part 1 of today done. Homemade peach cobbler. Alright guys, doesn't that look yummy? Not really. It is our turkey broth and just came out of the fridge. So we are going to get as much of the fat off as possible, and then I'll strain the rest of it as it goes into the jars, so that we hopefully will not have any fat in there, because you do not want fat in your canning. So, because fat is what can make or break your broth. So, let me grab the trash can, because that's gonna have to go in the trash. So, we're gonna see how many, and we're doing just these smaller, what, half pint jars. So they're like 1.5 cup jars or whatever. I'm gonna try to do it this way. Does that help? That works too. It's just, you got to get as much of the fat off as you can, because you really don't want it in your broth once you start canning. But like I said, I'll strain it into the jar as well, or into whatever I'm going to fill the jars with. So that's probably all I'm going to be able to get out with that. Maybe a knife, I can get off the edges. So yeah, it's another crazy. I'll get off the side and we can pull it out or strain it off, whatever. And then I made another peach cobbler for us, so we'll do a tasting here pretty soon. So basically, once again, we're just going to be filling jars with our turkey broth, and I'm just going to use this old plastic measuring cup. One side, all the numbers have been washed away. We still have one side, but that side is all gone. So, and we'll just pour this into there. And y'all, I don't know, I'm sure y'all have noticed that I'm like the queen of like dirty dishes, because I'm just gonna ladle it in here and then strain it in here. But I mean, and the thing is that, you know, my broth is not clear, and it's from all the stuff that I use, and it's kind of like a bone broth, a turkey bone broth, because, you know, you use all the bones and everything to make it. So that's, and then these, you can fill these almost all the way up, but I'm not. I'm just gonna fill them up to the first, about right there. Y'all can see that. So, I mean, you still have a little bit of fat and stuff. So, I'm going just to this first little mark. We're not hot packing because the broth is cold. So, I will put cold water into my pressure canner and bring the water temperature up. I probably use hot tap water and then set my jars in there. And when you're pressure canning, you can do 2 layers. I didn't do very well when I tried to do 2 layers on water bath canning. That just didn't work very well. So that's all right. You know, you learn the hard way. And then you'll remember for the next time. So let me get these all filled and I'll come back and show you how many we have. Alright guys, we have quite a few. We got some over there too. So we have 1, 2, let's see, 5, 6, got 25 half pints of turkey broth. Be great making turkey soup or chicken soup, or anytime you need chicken stock. Just use your turkey instead. So, plus too, you know what went in it. I mean, you know, you put the turkey, you cooked the turkey, and you had all the other ingredients, which we used some salt. I did not use pepper. Onion, celery, and carrots. You can put anything else in there that you would like. So the next thing is you're going to take some just distilled white vinegar on a paper towel, and you just wipe all the rim of the jar. And then you're just going to hand tighten it. That's all you're going to do with every single one of these. And you're going to put your lid and ring on, and you just do all of that, and that way you should get a good seal on your jar with the lid so that no air can get in, which means these will be shelf stable and can sit on the shelf for a very long time. I mean, they can sit on the shelf probably in excess of 5 to 10 years. Those are the big ones. So that's, you know, a great thing. We turned a closet into our like food closet or whatever. All the stuff that I have canned is in that closet. And clean this up. I want to get another paper towel because that one now has turkey stuff on it. But I dropped the paper towels back behind the table, so I gotta get those after a bit. Too bad I don't have one of those little reachy things, because that would be perfect for grabbing that. So, but yeah, you just clean all the jars, put the lids on, and then we'll get the canner out. We'll get these canned. I was thinking I might go out tonight, but it's not looking that way. And that's fine, because I have a couple other things I need to work on, as in member stickers. That is one of my projects today, and I've just kind of been, I'm just running around doing a whole bunch of different things. So, and there's our other cobbler. Sounds like it's ready. I'm not sure. Alright guys, we'll be back in a few. Alright guys, so we have our big old pot and we got it full. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 jars down in the bottom, and we are going to do another layer. So with these, you can layer them. I'm trying to see where my notch is for the water line. I just saw it. So I want to go to that line right there, because that way it won't overflow. And we're still gonna have to do this twice because we have way too many jars. I really didn't want to, but that's the way it's gonna be. So here, I'm gonna start adding the water, and I usually just use a big pitcher. I'm dropping things on the floor. So, I mean, I'm going to fill this up with somewhat hot water, but all of these things are cold. And if it wasn't so full, I would probably just do it from the sink. But it is way too heavy of a pot to fill up and then move. I mean, it's got lots of jars in it. You can probably get 2 more in there. So we'll have to do this one more time. But, you know, it is what it is. And because, I mean, the biggest issue is trying to get your jars to, you know, the whole thing to the right temperature. So I'll have to go find my little canning recipe book out. Even with all the jars taking up room, it's taking up quite a bit of water. So this is the book that came with my pressure canner. Then I'm just gonna look in here for foods, fruits, tomatoes, soups and stocks. You go to page 50. And it's the same as doing chicken stock. Okay. You want to go above that because then it's a bunch of water will be coming out of it. So it tells you how to make the stock, and it tells you how you need to can them and what pressures and everything. All right, guys, and then you put on the lid somehow like that, tighten it up. Then you want to wait till steam is coming out of this hole And once it does, you set the timer for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and then you put your weight on there. And we want it at 11 pounds of pressure for, I think, 25 minutes. Let's go over here and I'll tell you what it says. We're not canning fish. 11 pounds of pressure, 20 minutes. And so we're over 2,000 feet. So then you go to page 46, and we're going to go up to 12 pounds of pressure for the same amount of time. So the time is the same, your pressures go up. So we'll go 12 pounds of pressure, which usually ends up to about 15, and we'll go from there. So then we have about 8 cans to do after this one. So we'll get these all done and we'll canning chicken broth. It'll be finished for a while. Alright guys, there we have it. 25 jars of turkey broth. Let them sit for 24 hours, take the rings off, label them, and put them away. So thanks for hanging out with us in the kitchen. We appreciate you. Have a great night. Bye.